actually have samples of the issue if you'd like to take a look at them afterwards. But I did want to start off, the census data in me. The 2009 census showed that over half the Asian population lived in just 4 states. California led the way at 33%, followed by New York with 9%, Texas 6%, and New Jersey 5%. And I would also add, Massachusetts and DC to these because they have sizable Asian American populations. And I'm sorry you didn't pull together the Native Hawaiian Pacific Islander data. But I think that these sites can serve as important places where we could probably do more significant and sophisticated analysis to better understand Asian American, Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islander populations. And so, one of the papers that was in this K through 12 issue, and later on, Robert will talk more about higher education challenges facing Asian American Pacific Islander communities, is around, English language learners. And so, from the data that's available, we just have data on English language learners lumped together. We don't have it broken down by race. And so, I think there's data that shows from the Office of English Language Acquisition that between 1996 and 2006, the K through 12 English learner population rose by more than 60%. At the elementary level, 24% are English learners that are foreign-born. At the secondary level, more than half were U.S.-born. And so I think one of the authors was trying to show, and all of you might, or most of you might already be familiar with this, that there is some danger in not understanding the diversity of the English language learner population because they consist of newcomers, they consist of children that are of immigrant parents that are second, third generation and talk to their parents, in language. They also tend to have their identities mixed up with folks or students who are special education needs. And so I think in terms of examining achievement gap, a lot of the low performance scores tends to blame, English language learners and this barrier of limited English proficiency. And so, so I think, I just wanted to show that this is a really important trend because we often notice in policymaking that language is a significant concern in terms of Asian American Pacific Islander communities. And then also, it's related to another article looking at Chinese translated individualized educational programs and if they do more harm than good. In 2004, the Individuals with Disability Education Improvement Act requires schools to translate students' individualized education programs into their parents' native language. And the author, Lusa Lowe, who's out of Massachusetts, she did a careful analysis of 21 IEPs that were translated in Chinese and found that a lot of them lacked context and meaning, and they ranged to severe and conflicting and inaccurate translations. So a lot of the services for some of these students, they thought they were getting 100% services and assistance when the translation, because it was inaccurate, only allowed for 50% of services. And so so maybe another recommendation to further explore is the standardization and the universal glossary of a lot of these translated IEPs. And so I think in general, I think that there could be some partnerships more around with researchers, having access to raw data sets and doing more of these localized studies that provide better information on our communities so we can make more informed policy decisions. Thanks.